Let's talk menopause. Menopause is an important milestone in a woman's life. And this series on menopause is meant to create awareness about menopause, understanding the physiology and how to deal with the issues of menopause. Hi all. Thanks for joining us once again today. Today we are going to discuss with Dr. Vikram Tilavlikar about menopause, but a little different aspect of menopause. Today we are going to discuss, or like my question to Dr. Vikram would be, what is medical menopause, what is early menopause, and what is surgical menopause, and how do these different because they come at various times, like early menopause hits a woman before the age of 40. So how would that really be, what kind of an effect it would have on a woman's body? So can you throw some light on that?
There are mainly three categories. One is natural menopause. So natural menopause is menopause that happens because of lack of natural hormones when the egg activity has stopped in the ovaries. For most women, it will happen between 45 to 55. So that's a natural average range where most women will go through menopause. That depends slightly on genetics, individual genes. Some women will have it at 45, others will go until 55. An average age is about 50 to 51. Most women will stop periods by 50, 51. If the menopause happens between 40 to 45, that's early menopause. So that happens to about 10% of women. If the menopause happens before 40, that's premature menopause. In the technical condition, now we say premature ovarian insufficiency. So below 40 is premature, 40 to 45 early, 45 to 55 natural. Medical or surgical menopause is when it happens because of medical interventions. So they're all called as iatrogenic or induced menopause. It can be because of surgery, following removal of ovaries because ovaries had some tumor or cyst or problems, sometimes as part of hysterectomy. And again, you can have chemotherapy or very significant strong medications which can damage ovaries as part of cancer treatment. All those would be induced or medical or surgical menopause that's artificially happening. So that's broadly the definition of what it is.
So, doctor, what I feel is, if it is an early menopause or a premature menopause, I'm sure a woman goes through much more, or rather, like her body cannot handle the lack of estrogens. So, in that case, is it a must that the patient has a more aggressive line of treatment in tackling her problems?
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So we know that by looking at different studies, medical literature, we know that women who have early or premature menopause have severe symptoms. And one of the reasons for that, especially if you have a surgical or medical induced menopause, your body doesn't get time to adapt. Say if somebody goes through natural menopause, their hormone levels are decreasing slowly. They have 5 years or 10 years when they stop their periods, and the body has got time to adjust to the slowly decreasing hormone levels. That doesn't happen if you have surgical or medical menopause. Boom, you have an operation or you have certain chemotherapy. Within months or on the same day, your ovaries have stopped. And so the body is not prepared for that shock. And so women have horrendous amount of severe symptoms soon after the operation or soon after they go through the menopause. And because they are young, their requirement of hormones is much higher than somebody who is 55 or 60. And so the body immediately finds itself in a difficult phase, trying to catch up with bones, catch up with heart, catch up with metabolism. So they definitely need much more attention. If they need hormones, early replacement of hormones so that you can limit the damage that can happen to the body.
Doctor, a quick question over here, a little bit of a personal experience, I underwent a surgery, hysterectomy 2 years back, and it was kind of a surgical menopause. And I think the boost of having this awareness program came from my own personal experience, where I felt that I need to make women aware about all this, what is happening. But what I felt, doctor, and I don't know, would you correct me if I'm wrong, is whenever a woman undergoes a hysterectomy for whatever reason, whether it is for an ovarian problem or again related to her uterus, whatever may be the reason. But I think it would be great for a woman. Now, this is not speaking anything about, not a comment on what other medical fraternity or anything like that. I hold my medical fraternity in high respect, but I think it's very important that we counsel a woman on what is going to happen in her body after this hysterectomy, or like removal, if it is associated with also removal of the ovaries. I think that's very, very important, because you're not counseled, and you don't even know what's happening in your body.
I completely agree. I think we have let women down over the years by not giving them enough information about what will be the changes that will happen if they go through any form of iatrogenic menopause, such as the medical or whether it's an operation. And that often is the key, is giving them enough information about what is likely to happen. It's important that we keep this awareness or this sort of message going, because not just the public, but even medical fraternity, doctors, gynecologists across the world don't get enough education about menopause when they are going through their undergraduate years or postgraduate years, or even when they are training as specialists. Menopause is often not as much discussed as it should be. That's changing. People are now thinking that menopause needs much more attention, and it's gaining ground now. But that's the reason why this is not something that's routinely discussed. It's very important those changes are discussed and a plan made. So for example, in the UK now, we encourage these women to see a menopause specialist before they have their surgery, so that a plan is made in advance. What will they do after they have operation? If you have such symptoms, this is the HRT. If you don't want to take hormones, this is the non-HRT medication. What will happen to your bones? Your bones will need to be monitored in future. You will have a plan about your heart health. You will have a plan about your future medications. All that has to be put in place before that person goes through that medical or surgical menopause.
Exactly. This is what I'm coming to, doctor, is basically just the way after a bypass surgery or after an angioplasty, how we go for a follow-up, or we do our lipid profile very regularly, we do our cardiograms regularly. So I think when we undergo menopause, or whether it is surgical or whether it is a natural, I think there has to be some kind of a protocol in place whereby a woman can approach saying that, okay, now I'm having this, so I need my problems need to be addressed. If I need to have a mammogram because of my hormone replacement therapy or whatever treatment that I'm taking, I think there has to be a protocol in place which is not in place. So I think we women need, or even the medical fraternity needs to address this and needs to demand that we have a post-menopause protocol in place. And I think that is the need of the hour, and I think that is one of the most important reasons of having this program, so that we make people and the women aware that these are your problems, these are our problems, and we need to address this. So yeah, so I think once again, Dr. Vikram, will stop at this. But friends, a request to you that please share these videos with more and more women, whether they are younger women who are in their reproductive age group, or whether they are perimenopausal or menopausal. It is just that every woman has to go through menopause. So I think the earlier you make a woman aware of all these things, she can handle her problems better. Her life is more in her control. She can seek help. She knows exactly what is going to be the course, of events as she ages. So thanks, Dr. Vikram. Friends, again, please share this video. Thanks for being there with us. And we shall, in the next episode, we shall talk exclusively on the hormone replacement therapy and the myths associated with hormone replacement therapy. Thank you so much, Dr. Vikram.